Hello, in this video I will show you how to assemble this figure using my 4.5 version of the files. You can always find the newest version of the files and information on printformers.com. I do offer a subscription pack for sale, so you will always have access to the newest edition. This is 4.5, so a lot of changes has been made. As you can see, this is how the figure looks. There is an experimental part here that has been assembled, and this is for storage for his guns. So those panels are experimental. These are the regular ones. So, but just to show you what what to expect, this is what we will assemble. So, thank you, and let's begin. We have a tray here with various parts that we'll use to assemble those figures. There are some like slight color changes, so just know that it depends on you which color you choose. In this part, I will focus on just assembly of the parts. As you can see, they are removed from the. Some of them may have like small layer, but most of them are removed from the supports from the printing bed. So we will focus just on assembling. So here are some parts that you will need to assemble the figure. Paper clips to use as pins. I use the 50mm ones. This cutting tool, I'm not sure what's the name of it. Pliers would be helpful. It would be good to have something sharp just to push in the pin further, so you can use any of those. Maybe something like this, some metal thing to help push things in. Glue is not really needed, but I can show you where you can use it as a bonus. So I think I will use this one because this one is a bit worn out. So this is what we will be using, and so let's get into it. So as you can see, I have two of those parts here that are, both of them are available in the set, and they are a bit different, and I will tell you why. To make this part like flexible and strong, this has to be printed like this, and usually the top layer is usually can have some errors, and it doesn't like come out good. And this is obviously the front of the figure, so you want this to look good. In this case, I think this one came out well, but sometimes because this is a longer print, you may have some like blemishes here, and it kind of is not annoying that you have to reprint the whole part. So in order to make an option to avoid this, I made this version, which is separated in two parts. So the first part is printed like this, and thanks to this it's very strong. It has all the flexibility that we want. And there is this second part that's like a front cover, and it's printed like this. So it's very fragile in this state, but it also has the best edge. So what you do is just clip it on. There are like two clips here, and you just make sure that this thing aligns here. And as you can see, it looks very similar, but this part here is very smooth. So I'm really not sure which version I prefer. They look very similar once assembled, but I will be using this one in this assembly version because, well, this is new. This is a new addition to this version, so I'll be focusing on this. So let's move this to the side and start working on our figure. So there isn't really a preferred order. I can show you what I will like to do. So this is a bar. That's the main bar for the body, and as you can see, well, there's a small pin, and you have to just insert it in the bottom and push up. And because it's this shape like this, there's a opening here and there's like a sliding mechanism here, it prevents the whole thing from twisting. So it can slightly twist, but it cannot twist all around, because in the previous versions sometimes when sliding this up, the pin just twisted and just like the whole thing came apart. And because of this thing inside, now it doesn't happen. So what you have to do now, make sure that this thing here is at the front, because this is what will clip to the bumper, and you can just position it here, and as you can see, it slides in like this. Next thing that I like to do is to use this. This is a front grille, and you just slide it up. There is this part here that prevents it from moving up like this, and now we can insert our front bumper. If I can, oh, sorry. And this is our front bumper, and it just slides in like this. You have to align all those parts. And with previous version I used friction, but you can also glue this in, or maybe just make it hold by friction, but because some of the movement when transforming makes this move up, it sometimes came undone. So now there's an option to put in some 2 screws in here that will help to secure it. So I will do that now. And for this I bought this box of screws, and this is what they're called, and I'm not really sure which one I am using, because I always just open it and just pick whichever I think will fit. So I think those 2, and I am not sure how to read this, how it corresponds with this, because I may have like moved them around, but I think this is the one, because it corresponds with this opening, but I am not sure. So if I can get my screwdriver, I think it's magnetic. Yes, it's a bit magnetic. So you just have to, sorry for the cat hair, I try to avoid it, but it's in every video. Assemble it and just screw this in. Do not over screw it, just until you feel some tightness. That's enough. Because the holes are a bit like at an angle, it pushes everything closer together when rotating. Okay, and now the whole thing is secure. And this, now as you can see, there's a bit of like I forgot the word. This prevents it from just sliding in. You just have to clip it in, and this is how everything locks. So let's do the crotch so that this thing doesn't just slip away. So this is a crotch part, like this, and you just slide this in. And I don't know if you can see it, but this isn't an exactly flat flat like opening, and also this thing isn't really like completely flat. It's on an angle, because previous versions had the tendency to break, and because this is not entirely like a 90-degree shape, it helps to keep it stronger. But I will talk about it at the design stage. So you just push this in, and you can use this pin here to just like slide this in. Sorry, trying to show this on camera, and as you can see it now, it's like secure, and this is how it works. So right now it can freely unplug, but when the robot won't, when you push it up, it's all locked, because their like grooves are slightly higher. So it's now only can rotate like this, but when you move it up, it can now unplug. Now so it can lock in this groove here. So now it's locked here. Slide it out, plug it in, move it up, and it's locked in this position. So this is this part. Let's move in maybe to the shoulder part. Okay, so here are the part for the assembling the shoulders, and this is a new thing I started doing. This is I call it a C-ball peg, something like this, and because it's hollow, it can slightly like move. It has a bit of flexibility, and there are grooves all over, and because this each turn you make, it contracts slightly and it holds the position well. And you just do it like this, so you just slide it in, and it's like this. So like this, and this is a sliding part. Make sure that this arrow is in the front, and you just have to push this over here. As I can see, it doesn't really want to go through, but because this material is a bit flexible, you can just like make it in, and now it's like has this movement. So same for this part, move it in. Okay, so make sure that they are different and do the same. Let's just put it in, and this is the same movement. And when assembling this, the arrows always point to the outside. So you just push this in here. I just use my phone and slightly rotate it, and it should like go into place. It may be a bit resistant at first, but you can just move it a few times and it should be okay. Okay, same for this part. Like this. Okay, so let's keep moving it in. And as you can see, they are both here. And also, because there is now an opening, you can optionally put something in if it becomes too loose. So you can even put in a short screw or just a peg just to widen it a bit. So but for now, I think it can hold the weight with no problem because of this C shape. So it's fine. Okay, so let's do the windows next. So they are here. They do not have glass yet, but we can do that later. So you just have to push this in here, and it has to snap in. So just and it's snapped in. Same with the other one, and just push this in. Okay. And as you can see, they are now crooked, but we will be fixing that. So one of the parts that help to align them is this part. I think it's named upper grill. And because it is so small, I keep it on the brim, the thing that it helps to print. So just that I don't lose it. Just remove it and just slide this in. And it should peg in, but it's better to glue it later on, just that you won't lose it, because it is very small and it can pop off, but right now it should hold. And also this part here, that's the like neck roof part, and you have to make this movement. So just move it like this, rotate it, and as you can see, it holds and it can slide forward and back. Because of the angle, this part here like pushes it slightly, so it's very secure. You can basically hold the, okay, maybe not, but when it's like this, it's very secure, so it won't turn. And now when you align the windows, those two parts plug in here. In robot mode, this thing points forward, and there are grooves down here that go in here, so you just have to push this in. Same with this, and you always push this in further. So I can see we have this thing assembled. So there are like grooves here, so you can use something to help to pry it, but sometimes it may be hard. Okay, so we have this done. Let's move to the hips. So here are the hips, and if you follow my projects, you may notice a change, and because this is actually something new. And to illustrate what's different, I will show you this version. That's an older version. So in order for this part to be strong, it had to be print facing down like this. And because of it, this edge is like uneven, and also this edge, you can see some kind of like steps. and I wanted to avoid this. So in order to do that, this part now looks like this, and this part is printed flat, and there is a shield, I call it, part that's printed in this direction, so it looks a lot better, and you just slide it in, and it's mostly for visual aspect, and also covers this part here, but it's mostly for visual aspect. So if we want to continue, we have to slide this in, and I usually put this side, that's like on that flat side, on the inside, and to secure it we have this small pin. Then we can push down, and I'll use something like this to push this down, so it's down. And as you can see, this pin has an opening, and there's a reason for that, because when pushed in, there is no way to easily move it out. So one thing you can do is to use something sharp like this, and try, because there's a like an opening here, and try to like push this out like this maybe, but it's quite tight. The other thing you can do, you can just put a drill inside of it and just put it out. So this is because so that you can like drill inside and use this to pull the pin out if you need to disassemble it. And also another addition is you can see small holes here, and there are small grooves on the inside, and it gives a step movement. So if you can hear it now, it's like a kind of ratchet thing. And same with this, we just push this inside, and it may be hard to do. There will be some flakes of plastic falling off because this is like a fresh print, and it sometimes needs a bit more cleaning. And you can just maybe push it like this and push it down maybe. I don't want to maybe something to... I'll bring this and help myself just not to damage this. Maybe try to move it a bit so it's like aligned. It doesn't want to go. Let's just rotate it and see. It should be okay, so I'm not sure what's the deal. Maybe it just needs a bit more force. Maybe just... I'm not sure really what's the deal. Why doesn't it want to go through? Maybe just... Maybe because I'm using a wrong angle, because I'm trying to show it on the camera, so... Oh, it doesn't want to go in, so let me check what's wrong. It's quite tight. Everything should be fine, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe okay, I push this all the way in, maybe it will help. So there are maybe some residual parts here that may be blocking everything. Okay, once more. Okay, so now we have to push this in again, and maybe it will go in with no problems. With slight problems, but definitely went in. And as you can see, it now rotates and it's holding. It's very strong. Same with this thing. Just put this in. Put the pin inside. And now just push this down. Okay, it's all the way down. Put this in, and let's hope we have better luck with this pin. Also try to maybe remove some of those like parts of plastic. You can see they are falling down, and just and this one went with our fingers, so it's easier. Okay, so after this is done, we just move it in like this, and it should be a good connection, because like this slightly bends when moving it in, so let's just put this in, so it, this one disconnected, so it should be very secure. And now we can like put our shields in to complete the look. Okay, like this, and it's fine now. Right now they can slide a bit, but when we be pushing in the knees, it should help to keep it in place. So right now I have to make a small pause and interrupt this recording, and I will be back to continue. So if the lighting changes a bit, it shouldn't, but if it does, just know why. So I'll be back in a second. So let's just clean everything and we'll continue in a moment. I'm back, so hopefully there's not much change in the lighting and stuff. So let's continue. I think we can do the knees next. Yeah, so if I can just find them. Okay, here they are. So there's a change in the knees, maybe not knees, lower knees, but I will show that later. So right now you just use this to slide it in. There is a reason that this is a ball joint. So because I experimented with some other joints, other connections. One of the reasons is that you have a second pivot point, and just the leg looks slightly more interesting when it's not turned in one place, just like this slightly turn, this slightly turn. So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is that when transporting him, because of his shape, sometimes it's easier to just pack him or compress him without the legs. So as you can see in this one, you can just very easily remove this, and just he's more compressed and can be shipped in a smaller box, and after plugging it in, the connection is secure. But another reason is that you get a secondary joint to pose his legs. So normal knee is here, but if you slightly move it forward, you can do something like this. So you have a secondary joint. So if I can show you on the figure like this, so this is a normal knee, but if you slightly move it forward, you have access to this, and you have more than 90 degrees. It breaks the scalp a bit, but it helps with a kneeling pose and stuff like this. So that's why I left this as a ball joint. So with this ready, we can stand them kind of, and let's add those hip skirts here. So if I can just find, this is the one, this is the second one, so we have both of them. And maybe I will look for the back plug. So here is a back plug, back, not butt. But let's just plug those skirts here, and this is the joint that's in, so it's cut in the middle, so it can slightly compress, and the hole is made so that it's wider on the inside, so we can just put it like this and it should hold very well and easy to remove. And this goes in here, so with the tightness it should hold like without any screws, but there's an option for a screw here, so maybe later we will add one, but for the most part it can hold without it. Okay, so I think we can move to the shoulders. So here are the part for the shoulders, and as you can see there are like a few smaller parts here, but the way you attach them is that you have to position the arm like this. So this is facing up, and you just slide this and let me just come on. It's easier than it looks, but it's hard on this angle. Okay, so it's in, and same with this one. Come on. So usually, oh, okay, so the shoulders are in, and there are two parts like this that are for the alt mold and for the comic look, because as you can see, they have tunnels here. So this is where we use our pins. So let me just, so as you can see, you can just align them and push the pin in. Okay, so they're in. If you're not sure if it's all the way in, you can just hold by your hand, extend it, and see how far it goes in. And what I like to do is just, before like pushing it further, I like to bend it a bit like this and push it bent so that it holds, it's harder to slide in by itself, slide out, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is in. Now I slightly extend it out and make the cut, and with something sharp just push this in. So this is how it works. Same with this one, just align them. As you can see, they do hold by, oh sorry, as you can see, they do hold by friction, so you could use them like this, but just that it doesn't pop out every now and then, you can just use this. So same as before. I think I'll help myself with those pliers. Okay, they are in. Move them slightly, bend them slightly, push them in. It's slightly at an angle, so I don't think it's all the way in. Maybe it wasn't all the way in, so maybe like this. I think it's fine, it's fine. Okay, now remove it and make the cut and push this down like this. Okay, so the way you can just plug them in like this, and make sure that those like two cylinders here are at the center, so like this. So it should clip on like this, and when closed it should be at the center. So right now it's holding by friction. This peg has a hole just in case we need to like secure it somehow, but the way it is made now, it's held by friction. At the smaller scale, I do use a screw in this part. Let's finish this section here. So we're gonna insert something that I call a chest shield, and it's just to add some detail and to those parts won't really fall off, but it's just to fill everything. And because the way the windows are transparent, you won't see through. So this is a shield just to block the view and just watching straight on. Okay, so we can add some windows here, and windows, there's one, there's a second one. So it's supposed to have two parts like this. It doesn't really matter, this one is broken, but it won't matter really, and they only can go one way. So if you see, there are like two grooves here, and they can only go in one way. So you just slide them in like this, and right now they do not fall out, but they do wiggle a bit. So it's better to just glue this part in. So this is one part that glue will help, but if you want to swap them easily, you can just leave them like this. So okay, and we can close everything. When closed, they should be like very secure and not fall out. So in case you want to change them later, you can do that. Okay, so we have this ready. Let's do the neck maybe next, but to do that we need to do a section inside, and this is this section, and it makes the roof of the car mode, but there are two versions. This is a regular version, and this is how it, no, not here. This is how it looks from the back, so it's just a regular version. But there is a second version that allows you to use the MP10 matrix, and I will use that now. So this is a regular part, but for the MP10 we have two parts like this, and you attach them just by, you can just push this in, and as you can see it rotates. And if I can show you on this copy, when I open it, you can see there's a matrix of MP10 matrix, and in car mode, thanks to this rotation, this doesn't have to be removed and just moves around to the other side and is hidden inside the car mode. So let's do it. Let's put this prime here. Okay, so to do this, maybe let's do the second part first. So again, as you can see, there are holes here for a pin, and we can use this one. I think I will make a cut so that we start with the straight part. It will be easier to slide it in. So let's just make sure that it's aligned. Can slightly bend it to see if the holes are in the right place, and I think they are. Yeah, it's okay. You can see it goes all the way through, so I'll just slightly move it, bend it, and slide it back, just so that there's a bit more friction. There will be some plastic going from inside because it's pushing some leftover plastic, and now we can slide this out and make the cut. Okay, and now we can push this back in. Okay, and it moves like this. And for this part, there's only one way you can put this in. So let's align everything and just make sure this can be broken when sliding this in, so be careful. I always print two of them just in case I break one. Okay, but it should be fine. And now slightly extend it, and okay, so let's remove this part so it will be easier for us to insert it. So the way it works, this is a neck, and as you can see, it's like an expanding pin with like a hole inside, and this is a change I made, that the hole is round now. So you slide this in here like this. This is facing forward, and on the other side it plugs in like this. So it's holding in like this, but it can be popped off. So in case you want this to be more secure, you can either screw a hole, put a screw inside, just so it doesn't like expand back, but you can also print a very small part, so like this, and it's easier to make a screw, but just in case you want it to be all in color. So this is a small plug, then you can just push in here and you can fish it out with something like this, but thanks to this it doesn't now contract back, and it's easy. It doesn't just disconnect if you don't want it to. So I'll be using more connections like this in the future, I think. So to move this back in, we just rotate it, and because in the imagine that the matrix is inside, so in the car mode it moves like this, so you just close everything and the matrix is down here. So let's just this first time I'm inserting this hole so they are stiff. And so matrix is down here. So when transforming, you have to rotate it like this, and matrix spins around. Then you spin the whole section, and the matrix is now inside the chest. But so, and you have a chamber, but with no matrix now. So we have this chest closed off. Let's do the head next. So for the head, you have the helmet, the back plate, the eyes, and the mouth, the face, I guess. Usually I use red. Right now, just to mix stuff up, let me see if I have some red to show you. So this is like a reflective red over here, and also this is a different blue, but I will be using this darker one for this example. Just to mix it up, I will use a blue one because I always use red. You can put any color you like, you can be yellow or so. Now we slide it in like this. You have to slide the head, the face, like this. It's some leftover plastic parts. Make sure it doesn't turn because there's like a opening here that it may grab, so make sure it just slides all the way back, and you can just slide this in. And in case you want to open it, there's a groove here so you can stick something out and open it. And the head should work by friction, so you just stop it, put it in, and you have Optimus head. I think we will leave those for last because just because. And now let's do the arms. So maybe I will move this part here, and I will assemble the arm part here. So these are the parts for the arm. We can start it with the hands because it will be like easier to assemble later. You can insert this plate here, and this is a plate that can be rotated like this, and it helps to hold the gun and anything in his hand. So right now we have to touch this, and this hand is based on files from Toymaker. I asked him if I could use his Valkyrie hands as a base, so this is made based on that, so thank you for this. And oh, as you can see, I already assembled the finger. Come on. It's just snap on, and it's a tight connection, so you just put this and it just snaps inside. So I won't be showing this right now. So like this. This is the 3 lower parts. This panel goes here. And sorry if you can hear the cat. And this thumb goes in here. So the hands are ready. And now let's work. I need to check on the cat. Be right back. Okay, so we have this ready, so we can continue. So let's move those parts to the side because we'll be focusing on those parts here. So before, this part was printed flat. Right now it's printed like this, and because of this front piece is looking better. So for example of the older, this was printed flat. So you can see don't really mind this that much, but it does look better like this. So, and there is an opening here for a part that helps to add the friction if the joints are too loose, but I don't think I'll be using this anymore because I made another modification. As you can see, there are like teeth on the inside, and there are openings on this part here, and they now provide friction. So if I can just slide this in, and once it's in, it should be okay. Let's make sure that the hole is in the correct position, because before inserting the pin. Okay, so as you can see, maybe you can see, maybe you cannot, this is like a straight through, and you can use those printed pins. I recommend every pin is the same size, so if those pins are too loose, you can enlarge every pin by 1%, and it should add friction. So we can push it down like this. Okay, and now it's, whoa, sorry, it's first few times it may be stiff, so you can like use this and help to loosen it up. As you can see, it's like a ratchet movement right now, and it can help to hold poses. And this part goes on the inside like this, and also the same thing with this pin, so we can just move it in, push this down. It also is very stiff. Okay, and this part now slides in, and you can secure it with the pin, so because when rotating it can like get misaligned, so you can just put a pin inside so it only rotates like this. And because of those opening here, if you need to remove the pin, you can always like use something to just slightly nudge it up and remove it. Okay, so let's connect this. So we have one hand. Let's do the other one. So yes, this one goes in. Make sure that it's aligned. It's hard for me to really align this. Okay, no, it's not that hard actually. Okay, so it's in. Now push the pin in, make sure that it goes like straight through. It's not, okay, should be okay. Now push this down, and it's not pushing down because maybe from the other side. No, it's slightly misaligned, so okay, now it should be fine. So I should be looking at this like this, but this way you won't see what's happening, so that's why I'm trying to show it up to the camera. Now it should go. Maybe like this. Okay, it went in. Okay, now for this part. Okay, and it's also aligned. Let's slide in this pin. It's okay. Okay, now let's put this in and secure it with this pin. And we can use this forearm. Okay, so we have those parts ready. This can be rotated to the other side. We have those parts ready. Now, in the alt mode, those parts need to connect. So I made parts like this that plug in together. So if this connection is bad for you, they are separate. So the way it works, you just slide them down like this. And for the arm, this is a C-shape clip that I used before. We have this thing that if this is too loose, you can make this a bit thicker. So the way it works is just have to put it like this, and no, the other way around, sorry. So, and as you can see, this part, the end part here is a bit like narrower, so it won't pull out, and it's slightly expanding, but when we insert it, it will close, and the tension here will help to give friction to the hand. So right now we have this one down there, and we just have to like push this in, which is a lot easier when not looking straight up at it. Okay, and make sure that this is like in the correct position, and as you can see now, everything close and the connection is very stiff. So we can extend the arm down, move it like this, so we have something like this, and now we can slide in the shield, and I think one of the shields fell, or is this is the, yeah, okay. So this intake is on the outside, so you just have to move the arm out of the way and slide this in, and just move it like this maybe, and it should just like slide in, and usually it goes in without problems, so not sure what's going on. Yeah, it should be fine, so just have to wiggle it in. Maybe the thumb doesn't have to be like this because yeah, the thumb should be like this because it was expanding the whole thing. So right now you slide this in, and now it's all connected. So there are grooves here and there are slight notches here, so right now it will not slide down. To remove it you have to like slightly pry it, and now it will slide down. So because those have to connect, as you can see, this one is facing like this, so the other one has to be at the different orientation. So you can arrange it like this, and sorry for the cat again. Okay, so right now they are the different orientation, so it should be fine. So for the hand, because you can see this is the outside looks like this, so the arm can extend a bit, can bend, so like this, rotate it, make sure this panel is down. Now let's insert this thing here. Okay. And it's really not that hard to do, it's just that it's hard to do and show at the same time. Okay, it's in, it's like this. Now we move the arm like this, and if we extend it, this should slide with no problem. Okay, now position the hand back, and we have the arms ready. This is from the printing, you can just kind of remove it. So sometimes when you have a problem like this is the edge of the print, and it's on, so I can just use a knife to just slightly remove it, and it's gone. Okay, you can test fit those two parts, they fit just fine. As you can see, they fit just fine. And now you can put in the arms, so you can just slide them in like this. Okay, the one arm, so part of the plastic here, we can remove this later. The other one like this, to the back, and we have the arms ready. So it's coming along nicely. There are some panels that we need to insert here, but I think we can do this maybe after the legs. So this is the stage that we are at now, and the next part will show you a modification that I made from the previous version. So here are the part that will go to the knees. So I slide it in just so I wouldn't lose the pin. So before, I can show you the before part. 1 second. Oh, maybe in this. Before, this part here was a ball joint and it was secured by a part that just plugged in here. And right now the connection looks like this, that you slide in the knee part like this and you slide in the pin down and make sure they are aligned. Okay, so right now this cannot slide out, and you can use this tunnel here to just lift the pin up if you need to. It's a very tight fit, but you technically could slide the pin up. I won't be struggling with it right now, but it is doable because I was doing it a few times. Same with this. Slide this down. Okay, and now it is secure. And now we just slide this part like this, and this on the inside or out, we will see. And there are also like openings here and small notches there, so it also adds friction. And when you put this in, you can use a pin to secure it further, so you can push this all the way in so it doesn't slide out. I won't be doing it right now, just in case I need to disassemble something, but this is how it looks. We can connect this part right now. This is used to hold the legs in the alt mode, and the new change is that, as you can see, there are grooves here. Before it was all like here, flat, and sometimes it was hard to open, and right now, because of those grooves, you can just stick something in and just disconnect them. And the way they slide in is okay. And I see that I mixed up the legs. This is the right legs, this is the left leg, so that's why this ball joint here is left because if I get confused, I can easily swap them. And now you just slide it like this and slide it like this, and this is how they just lock together in the car mode. And just need to align them. Oh, so this is how it locks together. And now we have to do the outer leg part, and these are those two big parts, actually 4, and they use a lot this thing a lot. So make sure you align them, and the way you know they are right is that you just have this thing aligned, and the easiest way is to close them like this and just slide everything. You may want to drill this with a small drill if the print isn't very clean, but in my case it is very precise, so I don't have to drill anything. But in some cases it may leave some residue inside and it won't slide in that easily. Okay, so it's all the way down. Now we can do the same, as slightly extend it. Oh. Make the cut, and my pin exploded. Make the cut, let's get a new one and use the same from the other side. Oh no, from this side, sorry. You can see it's quite loose, so I just bend it slightly and slide it in bent, maybe a bit more bent. And because of this, it's harder for it to slide out. Okay. can test fit it and it looks just fine. The slight movement here, it shouldn't really be present, so I think I will need to work on it later. But as you can see, it just opens. Technically it's very hard to remove this pin, but if you really need to, you can use this opening to just slightly move it up like this, so the tip comes out and you can just slide it out. But it's sometimes you can damage this part, so this is important to make this right. And there is like a small piece of plastic here from the print and it's gone. Okay, and we align this with aligned. Now let's maybe start with this bottom one first. So there will be some plastic parts falling out if from the fresh print, from the wrap that is supposed to come off anyway, but after manipulating it for some time, it should be all gone. Okay, so this is, oh, and it didn't went all the way through, so now hopefully we can push this down so it does. As you can see, there's a part of plastic here that shouldn't be here, and this is a leftover from the print. So I can maybe try to remove this with this thing, but if it won't, maybe it will. Maybe I can grab it with this. Okay, it's kind of out, but just to show you that you can use, if there's a problem like this, you can try and use a drill to just slightly just drill it. Okay, and the residue is removed. So now hopefully we can push this through so it reaches the tunnel, and it does. So not very far down, but it's still okay. And for this part here, just make sure it's going and all the way down. So now let's just do a few slight bends, just that, so that it doesn't slide out that easily. Slide it out slightly, make the cut. Okay, so we have those two ready, and now to assemble this, you use this part here to slide this in, and right now it can slide out freely, but we'll deal with that later. And when it is down like this and you close it, this groove here should connect with this, and now it's secure as a leg. So same with this thing, so you just slide it here and like this. So we have this thing ready like this. Let's remove some of those parts here, and those are, oh, these are two of the same. Those are his like side panels, and they use a expanding clip, so you can just put this in here and it should plug in and rotate. I use the expanding clip here because it's easy to knock them off, and because when manipulating I sometimes like pull on it by mistake, and 1 or 2 times I just broke it and it damaged this part. So in this case, if you manipulate by mistake, it will just detach and it's easy to attach again, but it's quite hold, so the hold is quite nice, so it won't fall out by itself. Okay, so we have this ready. We can maybe slide this out for a second and use this part here to attach a trunk. And to do that we need two parts. So they are like this, and as you can see they do hold by friction, but as always you can secure them with a pin, so that's what I will do now. So let's just do it fast because it's kind of straightforward. Slide this in, make sure it goes through both of those parts here. As you can see, this is at a slight angle, so let's make sure that it goes through this whole tunnel. Maybe okay, it's in right now. So slightly just lift it, make the cut, push this down. Oh, come on. And it's okay. Same with this. Let's make sure it goes. Yeah, it went in. Okay, so let's make a small bend here just so that it's not so easy to slide out. Yeah, it sits all the way down. So make the cut, push this back in. Okay. And we have those parts here, and they plug in like this. So trying to see if there's a damage in this part, or it looks strange, like there's an opening here, but I don't think it's anything important. Okay, so to attach this you use this like this. So it's made like this because this is an addition, and for it to function with older models I use the part as it is right now. So it makes use of the older models, so you can modify your older model using this part. So you can slide it like this, same here, and it's all in. And now, because those two parts need to connect, when in the alternate mode there's a connector here that you can use, and those are those two parts. And because of the shape is like this, so when they are in the connection mode they lock with this back, and it's very stiff and it doesn't turn. So because the previous version had the problem that both of them could slightly turn, and right now the way it is, it's like a very stiff connection and they cannot shift. So once you align everything, they cannot like shift. And right now they are unplugging. So as you can see, there are holes here. You could use a screw to secure it, but you can also use something else. So I made those two like plugs. Usually I use gray ones, but for this version I will use the red one because I just have them printed in red. So you just, instead of a screw, you just use this thing here and just push it in and it should lock. And same with this, push it in and it should lock. So right now they should not unplug easy, and they can hold this section together. Oh, like this. Okay, and for robot mode this has to be spinned around like this, and this moved up. So same for this, just spin it around and this up. So, and for this next part I will remove the knees because it will be easier to manipulate with this separately, because we will do the foot and the shin part next. So these are a part for the foot and the shin, and before at the earlier versions, those grooves weren't here, and there are also corresponding holes here, so it now adds a ratchet movement, and there's an opening here for optional like ratchet pin, like a friction plate that will grab on this part, so you can insert it here and it will add more friction, but it's just an option for if there are like problems with the tolerances. So right now the way it is done, you use this part here, is also a C-shaped clip, and you slide it up like this, and you can also do this with the other one, and you insert this part here and make sure it's aligned, and just secure this with the pin, and they are aligned. They should slide down with no problem, so we'll use this part to push down. Also, this is a cool thing here, because let's just push this down here. In case if you have a very hard pin to pull, this is actually made to hold like phones or stuff like this, but if you would need to, you can just put this in with the pin and slightly turn, and it will push the pin inside. So this is, I sometimes use it, but recently the friction works fine and I don't really need it. So same with this. Okay, now let's move this thing here. Make sure this is aligned. Sometimes it aligns better to insert at an angle like this. I'm not sure why, but now it's in. Make sure it moves freely. First few times can be a bit tight, but later it should be fine. And now you have to insert this here. This part here is slightly wider than the rest, so you just push this here, and then you can slide it like this. Same with this. Okay. And for this part here, you insert this. And before there was like a pin that goes in, like this kind of pin, but right now I have a T-shaped part that just slides in, and you can glue it if you want. It should hold with friction, but you can always glue it. And this thing here, this will have to rotate, so after inserting you can give it like a turn just to make sure it turns. Okay, and now the feet are ready, so we can do this thing here. So right now we will slide this part down. Oh, not this one, sorry, this one. Just make sure it's facing the front. And as you know, when slide down, it locks the leg, but there's nothing preventing it from, after opening, to just fall out, to slide out. But this actually is where this part comes in. So I can see there's a tunnel here that ends this part. So when you slide this in, let's not lock it just for the presentation. And now this is like an expanding pin, and there's a protruding part here. So if you push this in, it fills the leg and also prevents this from sliding out further. And it just needs to expand for the leg to open, so it will move. I lost a bit of a previous recording, so I already inserted this one, so I will remove it just for you to see. So I can just, right now it's not secured by screws, so you can just pry it out. So basically it stops you just snap this in with this slide in. So basically in this part, when you pull it out, it stops this from removing, but in the car mode, it also stops this from sliding further. So it's a two-way block, and it's quite secure the way it is right now. But if you want it to be even more secure, you can use those two screw holes. And I will get some screws and secure it even further. So you can, I'm not sure if I'm using the same screws as before. The holes, the way the print is that you can bite to the plastic slightly, so it doesn't have to be really that exactly the same screw, just small enough. Right now it's until I can feel turning, and make sure they are like hidden inside, so that they are not protruding, and then they are not preventing this from sliding down. So right now this is done. Okay, and same with this one. We can just open it again like this and use the same process here. No, of course it's magnetic when it doesn't have to be. Okay, so let me hold it. It's more secure like this. So just screw it in, and the other screw fell in there somewhere. You can, come on, you can of course use glue to glue this in, but I prefer for the parts to be able to be disassembled just in case something breaks, and I can reprint replacement. So right now everything should be secure, and this is the current state, and we can work on these back wheels here, and I have them already here. So this is, let's just maybe, you put the caps inside and you just snap this in. Right now it's very tight. It can spin, as you can see, but it doesn't spin freely. For me, you can like make it spin freely. For me it's not really that important, but technically you can do it. And you can put a screw here now to secure it, but I also printed like cap fillers. I usually print a few of them so that, because they're easy to lost, and you just push them in like this. You can glue them in case they are not stiff enough. You can do this kind of neat trick that you just slightly squeeze this, so it has this like rugged shape, and because of this it's like holds in better when inside this part. So again, put the caps in, put this in, same with this one. There are alternative wheels that you can use, and they look like this. So they are a bit different, they have a different like this structure here, but these are the basic ones. And again, let's just do this trick here, so slightly squeeze it, and just let's do it this one too. Okay, and now just because I don't really want to use glue a lot, so this is a trick that it's very stiff, and this is a trick that will, if needed, you will be able to remove it. Come on. I may squeeze this one too hard. It doesn't look like it, so maybe, okay, now it's in. Maybe it was at the wrong angle. Okay, so it's in like this, and now this part here, as you can see, it kind of now can roll. So we can adjust it for rolling. I don't really care about that, but it can be done. And this part slides in like this. So technically it can be removed just by sliding it out, so you can use glue just to put it in, but so far it didn't really fall out, so I'm keeping it like this. And you just slide this assembly here. It's better to push on the wheels from this side and on this part from this side. So at first it may be a bit stiff, so you can slide it a few times. And let's do it like, is this the right one? Oh, looks like I used both of the same. Yes, so they are both this side. I'm not sure how it happened. I'll need to check if I printed. So as you can see, it's very good that we didn't use glue because this part is the wrong one. Let me get the right one. Yeah, so this is the right one. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that happened. I think I printed two sets just in case and just mixed them up. So yeah, you just push this in and push this in. Okay, so maybe let's just push this in a bit further down, and this. Okay, now put this thing here, and this will also slide in like this. So in car mode, this thing works like this, that you open this thing, extend it, and now you can open this, and now this tunnel aligns, and you have to push this down. So, but make sure that this part is like aligned. So right now, as you can see, it can go all the way in, and there's a small groove here, and there are also small openings here. So when it's on the end, it locks. So right now, let me push this back up, back down like this. And let's close this thing down. Okay, so the lower legs are basically done, and the arms are done. Let me just align this. It's still a bit stiff, so we have to move it a few times so for it to move more freely. Okay, so this is the figure right now. We need to, this will do at the end, and the shoulder guns. There is one more part here that are the side panels, so let me move those parts in. And they are like this, so this is like this, so we have to put this thing here. So let's just align everything and use a pin. So maybe let me grab a, it's always easier to slide the straight one and then bend it than use a bent one. So let me just align them. And you can see this one here, and this is so that you can just remove it if you need to. So let me just make the cut here, push this down. So if you ever need to remove it, you can use this to slide the pin out. And same with this, so let's just connect this. And slide this in. Okay. Okay, so slightly move this out, like that. Cut and slide this back in. Okay, and this is made of two parts, but I already glued it off screen, so sometimes it can hold by friction, but it's better just to glue it, just to be safe. And you just push this in here, and this should slide in like this. So this one here and this one here. Okay, and there are panels that you just plug in like this. Okay, so this, I think this one may be a bit loose, so let me see if I have another one. But there is also an experimental panel, the experimental section, that looks like this, so it's a bit different, and it's made, oh, this is actually for the other side. So as you can see, it covers more of the part here and has this section, and this is experimental gun storage. So the idea is that in the robot mode you could just slide the gun like this, and oh, sorry, this is actually the old handle, so this is, I think, the new one. So you can just like slide the gun, come on, like this. Oh, and it will be stored on his bag, but it still needs a bit work, so I will, just to show you, you may want to try it, but I'll be using this basic one for this version. Okay, and now you use this part and you just have to like wiggle it in here, and this is the same as in the neck part, that you could, if you want, insert something like a screw or something inside to prevent it from sliding out, but I think it's better to leave it because it's be easier to disassemble later. And this is a front fender part that you just slide in. Yeah, this is kind of optional, but it helps to fill out the car mode, so you just slide it in like this. Okay, so this is how it looks. And for the assembly, forget to put this one in, so let me just put this one in. Okay, and for assembly, this is how you do it. You just have to like wiggle this inside. You could do it without the panel, I think it would be wise, but and it would be easier maybe for you to me to show you, but as you can see, it's now right in and it can move like this. And in robot mode, this goes in like this and fills out this section, but in car mode you put it like this. This part is on the roof, so it doesn't like interfere. And a new addition is that there are grooves here, and there are like small like sections to grab on this part, so when you slide this in, it all like grabs on each other, and this is flush. I mean, it doesn't like stick out, because there was a problem inside that this sometimes was like sticking away from this part, but right now it gives you a very like good connection. So let's do this one, let's do this one. I hope that this is in frame. This was in frame. It's really very like straightforward, this part. Yeah, it would be more wiser for me to use this only the gray parts without them first, but they're in now, so it's okay. And there are two fillers. You can leave it like this, but it can slide out. But there are two fillers I need to remove from this brim. And I should clean them, but just to not extend this further, let's do it like this. So there is an opening here, and when you can push them down, so I will try to do this on camera. Okay, as you can see, they are pushed down. Same with the other one. So they are quite tight, so they will help to hold everything by friction, but okay. So, but thanks to the tunnel inside, when we move everything, there's also opening for a pin here. So after you plug in those parts, you can just slide this pin and it will go through this part and secure this small part here, so it wouldn't slide out. So if you're not sure if it's all the way in, you can, like I told you, can extend it and see, and it was all the way in. So in this case, just remove it slightly, make the cut. In this case, I won't be doing a band because it will hide inside, so it won't be really that visible. And same for the other side. And let's see if it's all the way in. It wasn't. So we need to help it a bit. Okay, so now I think, yeah, now it's all the way in. So let's slide this out a bit. Okay, and push this in. Okay, and now this part is secure. So in robot mode, this could be a bit tighter, but we can adjust that later. So this is the back in robot mode. Let's just lock the chest. Okay. So let's do the shoulder guns next. So these are the shoulder guns. This part is printed like this. So this part is easy to break. That's why there are like tunnels inside. And you can insert pins inside of those tunnels. I do not have them present right now, so let me... Okay, so they are something like this, and you need to test with the thickness, and you just... I think they may be some inside already, but I'm not sure. So let me use maybe... Let's maybe use this to push this down, and because this was printed flat, it's a lot stronger than, and it adds like a layer of resistance, so it won't really like, even if it breaks, you can align it with this and glue it back. So that's a price for this, the way it looks. And there are also two rings. There's one, there's two, and they are so that this is not like, they are moving it slightly away from this surface. So you insert them like like this. You see? So they are like okay, not like this, sorry, the other way. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but my like way is like this. So it looks like the base of the gun is like in the arm. So right now we can try to manipulate it in. It's quite stiff, so if this happens, you can like use something like this and slightly just shave away a bit of the plastic. It should be tight, it shouldn't be tight like this, but just in case, if you don't want to break the plastic, so it's a very small portion of the plastic was removed and it slides in just fine. So let's do it with this one. And I put this one wrong again. So, like this. And let's put this inside. It's kind of hard to do it. Maybe like this. There's still something, it's a bit too tight, so just slightly shave away some of the plastic, and now I can wiggle this in and it's okay. So yeah, we are very close to this prime being finished. So let's just clean this section a bit. Okay, for the chest details, we have this, they are in white transparent plastic, and we have two frames or lights, of course. And let's just remove this. And let's just do it here, and let me pick one. This one is, because they are, some of them are a bit different. So okay, those two are fine, and let's pick two of those. One and maybe this one. Okay, so let's slide it to back. This thing here, just, it's a bit tight, but it just plugs in. Whoa, sorry. Like this. Okay, same with this. The way it is made, it's flat, so that you can somewhat see the inside, so it's transparent, and you just push this in and it should plug in, and it shouldn't be like super extra tight, so if you would need, you can just push this away and it will fall out, or you can glue it. And those two just plug in here. They should hold by friction, but because they are quite small, you may want to just glue them in. Sorry. Okay, so I think we have this prime done. So as you can see, we managed to secure him. Maybe add a screw back here just to so that everything is like secured. Okay, so I think we are done. I will double check if everything is fine. This is a bit loose maybe, but no, it's just the angle. So I will move my setup slightly, do a test transformation, but it looks like everything is working fine. And yeah, so this is version 4.5, and if you want some comparison of the chest, so this chest on the left is done using the old style, and this is the one that used the shield, so it's much more like softer. It doesn't have this rough look, so depends on your preference. Also, as you can see, those windows have been printed slightly differently, so they have a pattern visible. They do not, but it all depends on the settings you use. So the material was the same, the settings were different, so all depends what you want. Also, of course, this is a new blue, this is an older blue. I did a test on my page, and people preferred this lighter blue. I think it does look maybe more cartoon-like, comic-like, but this is like very dark, and I think it fits the Marvel Universe Prime better. And also, as a bonus, I will show you something. So this color is more toy-like, and this is a kit that will be available free, and this is a kit for Power Master Prime G1 that helps him to look more like a Marvel comic. So I will make this free, and I forgot to show the guns. Okay, so I need to show you. I will make this free, and this you can, because a lot of primes like this are missing the guns and the head. So this is how it looks in the car mode, so I'll be showing that later. And I forgot to show you how the guns assemble, but it is really easy. You just have a gun here, and you just plug in this handle. You can plug it here if you wish, and this look is more like I think the comic thing, or anyway, I just plug this here. You can glue it, and also there's a tunnel inside, then you can put a printed pin. So if you want, you can move this panel here, secure it with this panel like this, and now he can hold this gun just fine, because this panel inside is helping to hold this. Okay, so thanks again. Let me just position everything maybe with this one, and this will be like the end of the assembly part, but I will also make a test transformation. So thanks again, and good luck with your assembly. So when we have our figure assembled, we can do a test transformation. For this purpose, I will insert this matrix just to show you how it works with the matrix. So if we open this, since he was assembled just like a moment ago, there are parts that may be stiff, but they will in time become more manageable. So this may be hard, just to make it easy on us, we will insert the matrix like this. Just make sure it's in. Okay, and let's just position it inside, just to show you how it looks. I'm not sure if this part is supposed to be up or down, but let's just close him up and begin with like a fully robot state. Okay, so here he is. He could be posed better, but it doesn't really matter for this part. So we will remove the guns. You can close the fists, or you can leave them, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is, there isn't really like a one proper order of doing this, but this is what I tend to do. open this. Of course those windows can be secured by glue, but like I told you, I didn't do it yet. Move those panels to the side, not all the way, just slightly. You can rotate the head like this, it will help you to rotate everything. Rotate it like this, and you have to push this back, and I prefer to have the face facing this direction. Rotate this, rotate the matrix like this, and make it flat. And because this matrix will be hitting the part of the head, I just don't want it to scratch the faceplate, so that's why in my configuration the head is facing this way. Let's close up the windows again. If this comes out of alignment, you can push this back. Okay. With this head down right now, you can position this. You can position those panels. They probably pop out of alignment, but let's try to do them right now. So remember that you will have to align this part and this part. So make sure that this groove and this groove is aligned. So let's see. So this is the first time we're doing some of those parts, but it looks like it fits quite nice. Yeah, so maybe like this. Yeah, it's okay. Open those panels, rotate them. Because of the rings that push the guns slightly to the side, it has a easier time of rotating. This part here, let's move this down, rotate the arms, move this joint and then this joint, so you have this shape. Like I told you the first time, it may be very stiff. Okay, and now make sure that those are pushed all the way out to the outside. On this double hinge, just wiggle this like this, and then push it forward. Yes, I don't think this one. Okay, secure the arms together, and now you can. I don't think this one is pushed all the way in. Maybe it was. And this lip here will fit in this groove here, so when you align everything, it should be. This part keeps falling out, so maybe I will try to push it a bit. Okay, I think it's snapped into place. Yes, so once again, let's just align everything. And let's see how it looks. I think it's fine. I still think this should be able to slide and strike slightly further, so that the gap is minimal, but let's just keep it for now. Okay, now with the remember that this is still locked because the chest is like pushed down, so let's move those two parts up. Oh, push because we didn't insert this pin, make sure that the knees are pushed all the way in. and let's move those parts up, and now pull down to unplug the leg. Same with this one. I'm just pulling down slightly. Okay, now it's easier to make it flat. When they are all aligned, just push this wheel assembly to the front. Make sure that this like tunnel aligns. In this case, there is something preventing it from. Let's see, what's this? Anything wrong? Like this is moving slightly, so this may prevent. Made the alignment of this tunnel worse. So it's okay. So maybe it's just too stiff. So make sure it's all the way down. Same with this part. Just aligned it, and okay, this part went in easier. Okay, we have it like this. We can put it down. So let me switch the camera. Move those parts like this, and we can snap those parts together. Okay, there. Okay. Okay. Rotate those clips. All the way around. Same with this. For the legs, rotate this part 180 degrees. And now you can push them slightly up and extend this. Now to unlock this part, you have to pull. Let me adjust it maybe a bit. You have to pull on this, and now it can freely move. Rotate it, and when it is flat, just push this in. Okay. Now we can push those two parts forward. Make sure that the knees are not twisted. Okay. Just till this part reaches this edge here. Okay, we can just slightly adjust this, just so that it moves like this, and we just have to close this part here. Okay, and I think it's almost done. This should grab on this part, so you can just slightly arrange this. Make sure that the wheels are down. Let's move this. Like I said, there will be some like leftover plastic falling until it is new, and those wheels would need to be stiffened somehow, and this pin slid out, so we'll have to modify that, but it's not really a big deal right now. So yeah, so this is the car mode, and actually some wheels spin, so you can it's uneven right now, but okay, so okay, maybe it's flat now. So you have to make sure that this isn't twisted, the crotch isn't twisted, but I think it's looking fine. Let's just insert the guns here. Okay, there's one more twist that you can do. You could rotate those knees to the inside, only those knees sorry, like this, and it may prevent some movement of this whole assembly. So if you align them like this, it would be more secure. So now if we push them, it should possibly be, the whole assembly may be more stiff. So let's do a test like this again. And like I said, at this angle it's hard to do, to keep everything aligned. Let's just push them further, push this in. So make sure that everything is pushed in, and when it does, you have this car mold and it's more secure. So I think we did a good job with this. Maybe this knee configuration is better, and I just made sure that this part is aligned, because this knee moved slightly out of alignment. But as you can see, this is very secure for the most part, and the matrix is still inside. So let's quickly transform him back to the robot mode. So it will be fast. I'll try to do it fast, and I hope nothing will pop off this time. So moving this here, this here, close, move down, rotate, slide down. This, move the wheel assembly back. Same with this part. Back, close. Close this leg. Move this down. Close this leg. Rotate this down. Fix the feet. Rotate the knees. Make sure they are pushed all the way. Okay, so we have the legs ready. Now for the arms, separate them. Move this like this part like this. Extend them back and move them with this movement. Move them out. Rotate them forward. You can move those panels back. Okay. Now you can leave or maybe not. Maybe just slightly move them to the back so that they do not interfere. Rotate this up, around, so you have something like this. Now let's open this part here, move this part back. You can just, it's not really important, but you can move the head like this, and this will allow you to, oh, this was the wrong way, sorry. This will allow you to rotate this whole section. Just make sure the matrix is facing forward. As you can see, it's forward. Plug everything. Of course, I could align it better, but just for the sake of speed and this plugs into the back, and we have Prime back in his robot mode, and I can show you how the experimental parallels work. So I have them here, and if we could just unplug this one, and let's plug in this one, and it's maybe a bit more stiff, but it's still holding on. So the main function of those panels is to cover the back and to not make it see-through, but so you can have those wider panels, and they may have trouble with folding all the way, but they still do their function of covering the back. So they look like this, and as an addition, if you angle them back, you can maybe, let me see, it's very hard without looking, maybe like this. I will show you like this. It still would be easier if I would have this in front of me. I will try it one off screen. Okay, see, they're working, they're just a bit, the connection is a bit stiff, and you need to know, maybe like every angle I try to take, it's hard to show, maybe like this. Oh, like this. So this is a experimental way to store the guns. So he has them with him, but they are not in his hands. So I will still be working on this part. I need to check if it aligns in car mode. Maybe I will do this check now off screen and confirm it to you. But so yeah, so this is assembly of version 4.5. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you luck with your assembly. So of course you can find those files and always the newest information on my page, printformers.com. So thank you, and take care. And just to confirm, he functions the same with the experimental panels. So I'm not sure if you can see them here. So these are the normal ones, and he transforms just the same with the experimental ones. So just remember that it's better, I think, to turn those knees inside, to the inside right now. So thanks again, take care.